Hey, and welcome back to my podcast, No Bullshit with Joe. And today I want to talk to you guys about shit in the news, shit that isn't in the news, shit that should be in the news, questions that should be asked. So today, let's talk about something that is philosophical. The philosophical question: is it okay to kill another human being? Is it okay to kill another human being? Now that is one damn motherfucking loaded fucking question. If you ask me and I tell you about it, that is a loaded question. So is it okay to kill another human being? What do you think? Please post it in the comment section below and pause this video here right now. Or if you're listening to this on podcast, on Reason or Spotify, please feel free to do the same thing, or just answer the question out loud in your head. Whatever you want to do, please feel free to go ahead and do it. So, is it okay to kill another human being? I asked this question on my socials, on my Twitter account, on my Facebook account, and we got some quite interesting answers, which I'm going to read out to you guys. And I'm also going to give you my spin on it personally. So let's go with the first part, is I'm going to give you my spin on it personally. So personally, my spin on it is, yes, it is totally 1 billion% okay to kill another human being. Now, I'm not talking about laws here. I don't give a shit about the laws. I'm not talking about the laws of the land. I'm not talking about, is it lawful to kill another human being? I'm talking about morally and philosophically, and with under the different right circumstances, is it okay to kill another human being? These are my thoughts and opinions on this situation. So this isn't talking about laws. I'm not a lawyer. This isn't law advice. This isn't anything like that. So I had to clear that up before I start sprouting my shit. So, no bullshit with Joe. Let's continue. Is it okay to kill another human being? Yes, absolutely. 1 billion%, in my opinion, morally and philosophically, under the right circumstances. So what would be the right circumstances? Okay, first of all, what's the right circumstances? Someone breaks into your house. You have 2 young children who live in your house with you, and a wife, and a shitload of animals that you need to make sure are safe and protected. The person who breaks in your house is armed with a gun. So their intent there is phenomenal. They intend to do you harm. They intend to hurt you in some way, shape, or form. If someone has got a gun, it's kill or be killed. Someone's, and even if it's a replica, even if it's a plastic, even if it's not a real gun, how do you know when that person's breaking your house that isn't a real gun? You don't know. If you woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning, you go downstairs and there's a couple of men there and they've got fucking guns and bats and shit, you're gonna have to protect yourself. And if you kill someone in the process, then so be it. So yeah, there's that situation that jumps straight into my head. I don't know about you guys, but in that situation, yes, certainly okay. And it's about consent as well. You haven't consented to that person being in your house in the middle of the night. If someone walks through my front door, I know you can't see this, but I'm pointing to my front door. But if someone walks through my front door, they walk through my front door because I've given them consent to enter the property. And that property is the safe place that has been created by me as a family man, as a man that is protecting his wife and his kids and his family. That safe place is being created, and my job is to keep this area safe. A bit like in the old days when you'd have cavemen in the caves with the wives and the children or whatever. Their job was to protect the cave. I don't know about you guys, but I make sure I sleep on the side of the bed that's nearest the door. So if there's any noises or anyone tries to get in the middle of the night or whatever, you can get up and access the door before your kids and your wife. Before anyone can get to your kids and your wife, sorry. So in that circumstance, yes, I do 100% believe it is okay to kill another human being under the right situations, of course. If it's the middle of the night and someone's come out at you with a gun, then fuck them up. That's my thoughts on that process. We have lots of other situations as well. Again, talking about consent. Rape. Let's just be open and honest about this situation. If someone is trying to physically assault you without your consent, sexually assault you without your consent, and you kill them protecting yourself, then as far as I'm concerned, that is something that is totally fine. You are protecting your body. You are protecting your physical self. You are protecting your being. Nobody, and I mean nobody, and this includes the governments, the courts, the fucking laws, and everything else, has the right to touch you in any way, shape, or form as a human being without your consent. Full stop. And you have a right to, morally and philosophically, you have a right to protect yourself and defend yourself if somebody does touch you without your consent. And that goes for everybody in every single walk of life. If somebody physically assaults you without your consent, you have a right to protect and defend yourself. And if it gets to the stage where you kill someone, then that's tough shit. They shouldn't be doing it in the first place. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through some of the comments that were posted onto my Facebook and my Twitter, because I find it quite interesting other people's perspective, and I think it will also bring up some of the talking points that can be discussed within this podcast and can be discussed morally and philosophically, and be open our eyes to the world around us. And the way I was shocked at the way that different people think about different things, and shocked in a good way, because that's pretty fucking amazing. So let's go onto my Facebook page now, and we're just going to have a look at a few of the things that were posted in relation to this question that was asked to the guys when it loads and stops buffering like a bad porn movie. Blah, 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 blah. So what was posted was, is it, philosophical question, wanting your thoughts, is it okay to kill another human being? So let's have a read of some of these comments. I'm going to leave everyone anonymous, but these are some of the comments. Depends on the circumstances. To protect your own life or the lives of those in immediate danger. Yes, if the person is... Right, so that's the first part of their answer. So let's look at that. Depends on the circumstances. To protect your own lives or the lives of those in immediate danger. Completely agree with that. If someone is stabbing someone, or someone is trying to shoot someone, and the only way you can stop them is by bashing them over the head with a baseball bat or a piece of wood with a nail on the end, then you go for it. You know, if you're protecting your own life, I completely agree with that. Yes. Now, this is the second part, which I didn't think about this or think like this, but this is the second part. I say think like this, it's just thought that didn't process or pop into my head. But the second part of her answer was, yes, if the person is terminally ill and gives you their permission while being compos mentis, so basically meaning having the full mental capacity to make that decision. Yes, if the... Right, so they've answered 3 questions. They've said 3 points, so let's look at point 2. Yes, if the person is terminally ill and gives you their permission while being compos mentis. So if the person is terminally ill, if they've got cancer, if they're on dying door or they're in a lot of pain and they want you to kill them, yes, if the person is terminally ill and gives you their permission while being fully compos mentis. I mean, that's a massive one, isn't it? What do you guys think of this? Because I know there's been cases in, I think it's America or other places, where people have actually been and taken their family members to be euthanized, and then they've been prosecuted for this. When actually all they've been doing, in fact, is helping their loved one to stop suffering. Because if someone's terminally ill with an illness that is going to kill them, and they are really suffering with it, should they, if they have the full mental capacity to make that decision, be allowed to die and make that choice over their own body? You know, make that choice over whether their soul and their body is going to go to rest? That's a good question to ask. You know, what's my opinion on that? My opinion on that is yes, fully. If someone has the mental capacity, the full mental capacity to say to you, I want to die, you know, I can't do this anymore, then I do think there should be places people can go without prosecution, where they can put themselves to sleep in a very pain-free way. Do I think that if, God forbid, one of my family members or friends turned around and said, you know, I want you to kill me, I can't do this anymore, and they've got the full mental capacity and they're terminally ill and actually dying, would I be able to physically do it myself? No. Oh, my hands up, I'm too soft. That's something I certainly wouldn't be able to do. Would I be able to take them to one of these places to be euthanized? Potentially. But again, you don't know until you're in that situation. So this person has also raised another point, which I do want to discuss with you guys. So, depends on circumstances. Protect your own lives or the lives of those in immediate danger. Yes, if the person is terminally ill and gives their permission whilst being a compos mentis. Fair enough. And the other one was, yes, if the person is just being a prick. Also, yes. Wow. I mean, that's a big one. There's a lot of people that I've met in my lives that are complete and utter pricks. Would I go around killing them? Potentially, if I could get away with it. But not all of them. And I'm sure, as we all have, I've been a prick in the past, and that's okay. These things happen. But I would like to still be alive. So, yeah, and I'm glad I'm still alive. So maybe that point is something that I don't agree with personally. But, you know, and also the definitions of prick. Like, the definition of being a prick. So, if it's, you know, my definition of someone being a prick might be different from my brother's definition, which might be different from my sister's definition, which might be different from my uncles, my aunties, my friends, and everyone else that I know. Their definition of being a prick could be completely different. So, what, we're just going to kill everyone because they're all pricks? Anyway, so, another comment. To save one of my family, I probably could. When your blood is threatened, it stirs up all kinds of stuff. To save one of your family members, you probably could. Well, yes, again, that falls into the, depending on the situation, it falls into the philosophical standpoint of what do you do? You know, it's like the question is the train, isn't it? Where you've got the train and the train track, and it's going to kill one person or it's going to kill 5 people, and you have a decision to kill the one person and save the 5 people, or to let it to continue go and kill the 5 people and save the one person. Now, what do you do in that situation? Do you save the one person? Do you kill the 5 people? If you do nothing, then you are standing by and letting it kill the 5 people. If you do something, then you are still responsible. You are responsible for the death of the one person. It's the ever-aging, continually argumentative philosophical questioning of what the fuck do you do and how do you do it and why do you do it. So again, this is another comment. My heart says no, but how can we know how we would react if it was a case of kill or be killed? Not an easy question to answer. No, I completely agree with you there, lady. It isn't an easy question to answer, and I think it's an amazing question to ask. That made me sound very big-headed. It's just something that popped in my head. That's why I asked it. So, yeah. In the case of kill or be killed, I could certainly say I would save myself if it was in this case of kill or be killed. If someone I didn't know was coming at me with a butcher knife or a gun or a whatever, and I had the option to kill them before they killed me, yes, my life is more valuable than another person's, because I have a lot to give and I have family to look after and support, and at the end of the day, if someone's wanted to do me harm for no reason, then yes, I would kill them. Difficult one. Morally, no, but if they pose a danger to others, then and then I replied to that comment and said, then fuck them up. Totally agree with you. Morally, no, but if they're posing danger to others, then yes, let's kill them. Blah 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 blah. Right, so this is another one that was brought up. This is another comment. Only if the other person wants to die, as in they've got a terminal illness and they're in a lot of pain. Again, we've already gone over that one. And child abusers, terrorists should face the death penalty, in my opinion. Now, the death penalty is the death penalty is a completely and utterly other thing that we need to look into, because is it correct? Is it right? We know courts can get things wrong, so is it right? I just heard something on the beard then, just need to get rid of that. Is it right to put people to death? Is it right when people... And I'm sure that if we Googled it or we looked into fucking DuckDuckGo or whatever, there will be cases and cases and cases and cases where people have been put to death and they haven't committed the crime. And you can't reverse that process. Once you stop someone's heart and they've stopped breathing for so long, they're dead, they're gone, they're finished. Their soul might be still around, but them as a person, as a physical being like me now on this video, will be gone, disappeared, gone forever. So is it right to kill that individual based on evidence gained from electronic evidence, gained from physical evidence? Is that right? Because not always... I mean, you've got prisoners that have been on death row that have served 15 to 20 years of their life behind 4 walls, and it turns out they didn't fucking commit the crime that they were thinking on in the first place. So you've taken away 15 to 20 years of someone's life, or you've killed them. What the fuck are you meant to do there? How are you meant to give that time back? And it doesn't matter how much monetary value you give to someone, every fucking second that we are on this planet, as far as I am concerned and aware, counts. We are important as people, and animals and shit like that are important, but that's a different topic for a different occasion. So, theoretically speaking and thinking about things, is it right to put people to death, even if they've done horrific crimes, when there's a potentiality that they might not have done the crime that we have convicted them of? It's very grey. The court system is very grey. It depends what happens upon the day. See, I'm a poet and I didn't know it. So, yeah. Okay, and I'm going to read one more. This is, no, I'm going to read one more from Facebook page and I'm going to jump over to my Twitter page. So, no, I don't think it depends on circumstances. Self-defense, yes, that is not murder. I don't think murder can be justified. If you commit murder, then that's what you are, a murderer, no better than any other murderer. Terminally ill is assisted suicide. For someone just being a dick, really? Why? That's what the courts of law are for. I know they don't always get it right, but no one would be safe with vigilantes all over the place. Just my opinion, just like yours. So yeah, again, should we have vigilantes group like the film Batman depicts? Should we have vigilantes group? Should we have Batmans going around killing people? Well, Batman doesn't really kill people, but let's say for argument's sake he did, right? Should we have Batman going around killing people and bringing people to justice? Or should we allow our corrupt court system to continue doing what it's doing? Should we allow our corrupt... I mean, in the UK, our politicians can't even behave themselves. You know, I mean, there's 126 fines that I read out this morning that have been given to our politicians for the whole Partygate COVID lockdown situation. And they're all having backhanders, and there's one that's been accused of rape. And so, if it's from the top, you know, going slightly off topic, but just follow me here. So if you've got from the top, like you've got the Queen and the King and all that shit, right, in the UK, and, you know, you've got pedos like Prince, let me get this right, gotta get this one right, I think it's Prince Andrew, right? So you've got pedos like Prince Andrew and Jeffrey Epstein and Jimmy Savelle's a different thing, but Prince Andrew, Jeffrey Epstein, who were friends, and then you've got that in our UK. You've got a paedophile prince in the UK who's not been arrested, who's not been locked up for it, who's not been done for it or fined or anything like that because he's a royal family, right? So he's very well protected. And then you've got the politicians who, one's just been accused of raping someone and accused of sex crimes over the last 7 years. So you've got that going on in our politicians' system. So you've got the fucking... If you see me on YouTube, I'm using my hands. I'm talking a lot with my hands. If you're on the podcast, then you can just hear my blabbering on. So you've got the Queens and the King, you've got the politicians, and then underneath that, you've got the police force and the judicial system who favour certain people. I'm sorry about that, it's my cat. Wait, pack it in. Who favour certain people. Excuse me a second. Who favour certain people, shall we say, and who protect people at the top, then is it right that we allow our courts to decide? I know we don't have the death penalty in the UK and we do have it in America, but is it right to allow our courts then to decide what happens to the general public? Is it right to then allow our courts to decide whether our lives are taken away from us and whether our their dad's taken away from family members, the wives, the children, and mums are taken away from the wives and the children, from the husbands and the children and stuff like that? Is it right to allow our court system to do this? These are all big philosophical, deep questions that really need talking about over time. But yeah, let's have a look at a couple of Twitter responses. But this is I love this sort of topic because it's so interesting in what other people's opinions and views are. And I think it's a massive question that will remain unanswered, but people can only speculate to accumulate and talk about. So this was on my Twitter account. I asked the same question, philosophical question, wanting to your thoughts, is it okay to kill another human being? And I got quite a few responses. I don't normally get a lot of responses on my Twitter account, but I got quite a few. So, again, I got, I don't know about okay, but it's understandable under certain circumstances. We've already gone over that. So, depends. If they left you with no other choice in a self-defense case, if they are part of an invading army, then there are the so-called grey areas. If someone kills a person as part of the justice system, aka death penalty, is it okay? Well, that depends on your view of the death penalty. Again, that's something that, you know, I've just discussed about. I don't think the death penalty should ever really be a thing because, again, regardless to what you've done to an extent, in the prison system, court system, no other human being has a right to touch your body in any way, shape or form, unless you are attacking them physically, sexually, emotionally, psychologically, or attacking them like in a physical form, then you have a right to defend yourself. So, blah, 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 blah. So this was, I think this is off a religious account. I'm not just saying that; it's just the way that it looks. But this is the response, and they also retweeted my question and responded to it. A human always deserves an opportunity for redemption, and death destroys any opportunity for redemption and causes greater destruction in its wake. I'm just going to read that again because it's quite an interesting answer. A human always deserves an opportunity for redemption, and death destroys any opportunity for redemption and causes greater destruction in its wake. So, what I'm basically saying there is a human, what they've done, deserves an opportunity for redemption. So, my question to that would be, because I don't fully agree with this, but I think it's a very interesting answer. Oh, okay. They've actually sent me another one, so I'm going to have a look at that in a minute. So, a human always deserves an opportunity for redemption, and death destroys any opportunity for redemption and causes greater destruction in the wake. So, if you kill someone, okay, this is a loaded answer. So, the problem I've got with this answer is, a human always deserves an opportunity for redemption. Okay, so someone walks through my front door, they've got a gun in my hand, it's pointing at my head, and I'm going to go, you've got an opportunity for redemption, please don't bang. Dead. Or, I take the motherfucker down. I protect myself. So, in that circumstance, it wouldn't be so great. What about a paedophile? Do they have an opportunity for redemption? No, they don't. They should be locked away for life so they keep the general public safe and they are away from any child in any way, circumstance, shape or form. Death is death of the human. For me personally, if we talk about death is death of the soul. Not the soul, the human. It's death of the physical, biological matter, whereas the soul is something that continues on. So maybe the soul could be redeemed over time. You know, I do believe that we come back. There might have been things that I've done in my past life or past lives that I would not be, as a physical human being now, very proud of. So, does the soul have a chance at redemption? Yeah, damn right it has a chance at redemption. Does a human being who is the inheritor of that, human being through which the soul inhabits, does that human have a chance at redemption? Well, it depends what they've done. If they've gone around murdering a load of kids, no. If they've gone around murdering people for no apparent reason other than protecting themselves, no. Such a loaded question and such a loaded answer. Again, another answer here of the same person. You can knock them out, you can hit them with a car, you can throw them down a flight of stairs. Thou shalt not kill. Told you it was fucking religious. Go back to the days when men used to square it out, fight it out, and go the fuck home alive. Fuck shooting, fuck war, fuck dying for bullshit, and there's too much sex to be had. That's their opinion, their answer to the question, which is, I'm very, very much appreciated for that someone actually took the time to answer that question. So thank you very much for whoever you were. So they're my views and opinions on, is it okay to kill another human being? Please feel free to send me an email. Please feel free to post down in the comment section below your thoughts on the situation at hand. I'm going to love you all and leave you all now. Please feel free to click on my link tree, have a look through it, have a gander through my link tree. If you want to, buy a couple of books. If you want to join my OnlyFans account, there is no sexual things up on my OnlyFans account. You may talk to me about whatever you want to talk to me about. You'll see content up there. I'm trying my best to upload to the OnlyFans account as much as physically possible. However, there isn't a lot of people following it at the moment, so I don't want to waste my time uploading a load of stuff if not a lot of people are following it. So if I get more than 10 followers, 5 followers on the OnlyFans account, then I'll start uploading it a hell of a lot more. But please feel free to check out my link tree. You've got my podcast and stuff on there. You've got a TikTok account on there. I've got 800 odd followers now, which is absolutely awesome. So thank you to every single one that is actually following us. You've got loads of people on there that are following us for different shit. So, over and out, peeps. Love you all, and thank you very much for watching this if you're watching it on YouTube, and thank you very much for listening to this if you are listening to this up on the Reason app, Spotify app, or whatever other app. My RSS feed has screwed my shit through. I have also got followers on there growing, which is absolutely fucking awesome. Thank you very much for being here. Don't go around killing anybody after watching this video, please. Only do it in self-defense, and that is if it is lawful and following the rules of your land, of where you live, because I don't want you getting into any trouble, and I certainly don't want anything come back on me. As a disclaimer, just to let you guys know, my views and opinions on this video are not fact, they're not evidence, they're just views and fucking opinions of my mind and what I think and how I think, and the way that I think potentially the world could work if we didn't have the corrupt laws, social system that we do currently have at this present moment, and that people would be maybe a little bit more accountable if they knew they would get a slap if they started fucking around. Over and out, love you all, goodbye.